Hey, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. Well, today we're going to talk about the wide zone. What is it? How do we install it and teach it? So let's get right to it. Okay, let's start with the offensive lineman up front. We teach a covered uncovered principle. So what that means is we decide our combinations based on how people are aligned on us. So if I have someone head up to my play side gap, I am covered. So in this instance, this right guard would be covered, the left guard would be covered, and the left tackle would be covered. Now, if I don't have anyone head up to my play side gap, I am considered uncovered. So the right tackle and the center would be uncovered. So if I am uncovered, I am working to the next down lineman in a combination with the covered lineman. So for example, these two would be working those two, and these two would be working those two. Now in this instance, and I'll go over the tight end here in a second, they would also be working in a combination, possibly if there's no edge threat. And I'll go over the tight end's responsibilities here in a little bit. So let's talk about their footwork and their steps, and we'll start with covered. So if I'm this left guard here, I am taking a lateral step that I need to overtake, and my aiming point is that play side number or armpit. You could teach either one. So that step changes. It's not the same step every time. It can change based on how this guy is aligned. So if he is like head up or really tight, that's not going to be that wide of a step. If he is a 4-eye here, then it is going to be a much wider step. So it changes, and that's why it's important to drill all different alignments, because that step's going to change. So that first step, again, is going to be that play side number, play side armpit. My second step is going to be in the crotch. And then by that third step, I have to decide, have I overtaken this guy, and do I need to reach him, or do I need to run him? Okay. So the other important thing here is we got to understand, am I working in conjunction with anybody? Because if I step to go take that armpit and I easily overtake it, then I'm going to pass that off to the center. So it's important to know, number one, do I have help? If I don't have help, then I'm just going to reach that guy if I can. If I do have help, then I'm going to pass him off. So that's the difference here between the left tackle and the left guard. The left guard has inside help because the center is uncovered. The left tackle does not have inside help because the guard is also covered. So that's just an important thing to know. If I'm covered, do I have help or do I not? So if this end were to spike, let's say we got this stunt right here. This left tackle would reach that end and he would stay on him even though he went inside that gap. That left guard would not. That left guard would pass it to that center and then he would climb. So it's important to know, do I have combinations? Do I have not? That's why we communicate pre-snap between the line on, do you have help? Do you not have help? Covered, uncovered. So again, let's go to this left tackle. He's trying to reach, and let's say by the third step he can't. This end is fighting like crazy to get outside. Then we are just going to continue to drive him horizontally. And this is why I think this play is really good for any size line. As long as you've got some athletic, quick guys that can run up front, we don't have to knock guys off the ball. All we have to do is keep them in the gap that they want to be in. So for example here, if they want to hunker down here, then okay, cool, we're going to stretch it that way. And then we're going to find a seam. These linebackers now have to cover gaps that are moving really fast, and it becomes a difficult task for them. So those are the covered rules. Let's look at uncovered. So I'm the center. I'm the same aiming point. So I'm going to try to get to that outside armpit of that 3-tech. Now that's not very likely, but that's my aiming point. And I'm going to read the hip of him as I go. And in 3 steps, can I get there? If I can't, in 3 steps, like I can't make any contact, then I'm climbing. If I get hip to me or we get some sort of stunt, then I just become my covered rules. I'm going to try to overtake. If I can, I will reach him. If I can't, let's say you get there, but you're on the inside half of him, then I'm just going to try to drive him horizontally down the line of scrimmage. So let's kind of go through the whole thing here. So that right tackle is uncovered. He's going to be working with the right guard to the nose. So he's going to try to overtake. If not, he'll climb. The right guard is covered. He's using his cover rules. Center is uncovered. He's working to the 3-tech. With the left guard, they are working in conjunction to that linebacker. And the left tackle is covered on that end. So the tight end, let's talk about him. It really depends on the front. If the defense came and lined up exactly the way they were now, the tight end is supposed to have edge, which there is no edge here. This defensive end is kind of the edge. So he would help, and we would tray block that defensive end. Now let's say we got rotation here. Then he would abandon that. He would tell the tackle that we've got edge, and so he would push out to that rover there. So if he stays high, then we actually have a +1 here because we're going to push crack that rover there. And so now we kind of have an over-under on that mic. If that mic just screams out of there, then they'll combo to that mic, and actually this would turn into first thing backside. So we'd actually have 2 people trying to cut off that will linebacker. So that's up front. Let's talk about the second most important thing here, and that's the tailback's read. So he is going to drop step, and then he's going to aim right at that tight end right there. And he's got 3 steps to decide whether he's going inside or out. And he is reading the tight end's block. So when the tight end engages his block, whoever he's blocking, if that defender's head is on the inside, then he is getting outside. And again, we don't want to stretch this to the sideline. We want to get north and south as quickly as possible. So yes, we want to get out, and then we want to try to get north and south quickly. Now, if let's say this defensive end is the end man and he stretches, like he jumps outside really quickly, then this tailback is now going to find the first crease inside. We tell him to read the next defensive lineman. Most of them, though, they just get a feel for it, and they're going to just press and find that first crease and get north and south quickly. Quarterback is going to reach out, hand off here, and then he must boot at least 3 to 4 steps every play because we have to hold this guy right here. And if he's not honoring us, this is coming later. The play you have to have in your offense if you're running wide zone is the keeper or the boot. And so we'll discuss that on a different video. On the backside with the receivers here, we like a now screen. So if this strong safety starts to creep in the box pre-snap, maybe they go to more of a true 4-3 look to help, and you've got space out here, throw the screen. Throw the screen, throw the screen. And this is our favorite. You could do whatever you want. You could bubble the H here. You could run, hitches if you wanted to. I don't know. It's endless what you could do, but we like the now screen. That's our base. And this is how we install wide zone on day 1. You like this type of content? I'll be posting breakdowns and videos like this weekly, so hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get to them as many as I can.